And hello, and welcome to a Final Fantasy XIV video. I am SF Lady Wolf, and I'm just doing this little PSA real quick for any new people that maybe haven't done an expansion launch in FF yet, or who might be a little rusty. Maybe you're coming back from being gone for a while. Just a little reminder of stuff to do and stuff to think about before the launch. Now today, another reason I'm doing this is in case you need to get that new PC before Dawntrail. Maybe you've already got one ordered and you're just waiting for it to get there, like me. I've got a new one ordered and I'm waiting for it to get to me. So, when that happens, here's what I'm going to do. In your characters, as you see on the screen, I have our dear friend Artemis that we usually run around with. And she is a white mage, of course. You have on the screen little cogwheels. One in the upper right corner as you're looking at your screen, which will back up client settings. If we click on that now, it will bring up a little message here. It says this feature allows you to save backups of your client and character configuration settings to the Final Fantasy XIV servers, as well as import these backups to your hardware, thereby allowing you to easily carry over your preferences to different play environments. It is strongly recommended that you save your data locally before attempting a backup or download. In addition to manually backing up your data, please select the config option found in the launcher and use the backup tool. On the launcher, you have the same kind of thing and you can back up your stuff there as well. Since I've already done this before, I'm just showing this screen. When you get in, you will see this screen. You'll hit that cogwheel. This window will come up. If you aren't ready to do it, really, you made a mistake, something happens, you have the phone ring or something, you can hit return and it will just go back to the character screen. You can come back to it in a few minutes. Or you can hit proceed and you'll see this window come up. On this one, it is your client settings backup. It just says save a backup of local system settings for UI, sound, user macros, and more to the server. Display resolution, graphics quality, input device, and other settings dependent on current play environment will not be saved. So now, if you have a certain mouse or a monitor, things like that, so you get a new monitor with that new computer, it's not going to save that kind of stuff. But it will save other stuff, like it says here. Display. For your display settings, it will save UI size, your frame rate limit that you have set for whatever you have it set to, and your other display settings. Now it does say resolution and other graphical settings dependent on current play environment will not be saved. Because if you get a new computer, an upgrade computer, like right now you might be thinking about, it's going to be different from what you have right now. So it will reset that when you actually come in on that new computer. It will reread it. And you can also set it, things like that. You can go into the settings once you're in the game. So do this, and it will save your volume and other sound settings, your mute, things like that. Your input device saves mouse and keyboard settings or gamepad settings. Input device information will not be saved. Now, if your keyboard, you might get a new keyboard as well. They don't know. So they will not save your keyboard. They will just save, are you doing keyboard and mouse? Are you doing the gamepad? That will be what it saves. And that will be set up that way. It will be expecting it. And theme settings saves your preferred color scheme. So this background and all, boom, done. Others, saves movie cutscene voice settings. If you want to hear the cutscenes in Japanese and see the English subtitles, that's fine. It will take care of it and remember it for you. Settings dependent on current play environment will not be saved. So yeah, okay, by play environment, let me go over that for a second. That means the computer you're using, because the new one you get may have more memory or a different video card, things like that. And your new keyboard, if you get a new mouse, it will say that you're playing with a mouse and keyboard, but it might not say, what mouse you're using. I'll show you right here. I have one of the Razer Nagas with the keyboard on the side for numbers. I use that when using my abilities in the game. So that's how I'm sitting there hitting buttons. I have my bars on the screen, and I'm doing stuff. I'm hitting like 1 for this attack, 2 for that attack, 3, I'm healing. So, yeah. Now, when you get in here, you can do this stuff once per day. Now, I am going to stress anyone who hasn't been through a expansion launch. Usually we have 24-hour maintenances. Now, because of everything going on with Dawntrail for the graphical updates, things like that, any other work they may need to do to the servers, we are having a 48-hour maintenance this time. So early access, if you've already got your pre-order put in and you're ready to roll, then it comes out on Friday for that free play for the early access part. Now that means we're going to be down Wednesday and Thursday. So make sure Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday sometime, when you get done playing, you come in here and you do this stuff. So that way you don't have to worry about it when Dawntrail shows up. Also, before you get that new computer hooked up, while you still have your current computer ready to roll and can play with it, go ahead and do this. So when you get that new computer, all you have to do is put the game on here and download your settings, which I will point to in just a second, and go from there. You'll be all set. You may have to change a few things. You get that new monitor, better monitor. You may have to change your resolution, things like that. But that's what it's talking about for play environment. It will save, mouse, keyboard, all that. But it will not save your play environment. Also, if you decide you change from PC to PlayStation, for instance, or maybe Xbox now that we're covered. Hello, Xbox people. Welcome in. I'm a little late if I haven't said it already, but welcome in. And if you are new, welcome in as well, no matter what you play on. So we have the client settings data. We have upload, we have download, and we have restore macros. Now, the macro part of things, I didn't even finish. Accessibility saves visual alert and color filtering settings. So if you are, by chance, colorblind or something, it will remember that. And shared macros. That's what I was fixing to get into. It saves shared macros. Individual macros are saved by backing up character settings. So the individual macros, like you have one, like I have only one that I like using on Artemis here. She is the only one that uses that macro. I'll put in her individual one. I'll log in with her in a second and I'll show off the macro screen in case you haven't messed with them too much. Or it's been a while, you don't remember what it looks like. But you will upload here. And you'll click upload. Save client settings to the server. Server data will only be overridden if more than 23 hours have passed since the last upload. As you saw it quickly come up, it says ready to create backup. So it's going to take my settings right now as they are, and it's going to send them to the server for us, for the FF servers. I'm going to hit OK. You'll see it saying upload data. Client settings data saved to the server. That means it's successful. We are good to go for the day. So if my computer got here tomorrow, I would have it backed up and be ready to go. I just put on the game, come in, hit that, load settings. Come in, you hit that, you do your proceed, you say download. There you go. It takes all that data you just updated to it and it brings it back down. And it says, okay, this is what you want. Here's the settings I've got for you. You may have to tinker with it again if you get a new monitor, larger monitor, or something like that. Maybe a double monitor setup if you decide to. There you go. Now the restore macros. If something happens, like right here, up to 100 shared macros can be restored. If a problem occurred applying client settings, you can use this feature to restore your shared macro settings to those automatically recorded at a previous date. And as we see, automatic backup from April 22nd. So we have that. We could just hit that. Any shared macros, if something didn't come over or didn't download right, you could hit that and it would bring in just your macros. Now remember, that one only saves your shared macros. Now, right here beside the character, you have this little cogwheel and person over here. If you click that, you get the same kind of window that we got before. We're going to just hit proceed right here. And it tells about the stuff that it copies over here for this character. It doesn't do it for any other character right now. It's just Artemis right this second for me. I would have to go click the little face and cogwheel on each character. That's why I'm saying like Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday before the launch, make sure you've got this done. Or before you hook up that computer, make sure you come in and you get this done. So that way when you hook that new computer, you're not like, oh crap, I didn't do it. Now I gotta go in and redo my characters from scratch. Because you will have to. It will be as if it's the first time you've logged in with that character. Even though you might be, in this case, level 55, level 90, somewhere in between. So, yeah. And you do have Pictomancer and Viper coming in. If you decide to play those, maybe you want to make a new character just for that. Like, man, I really want that Makote Viper or something. I'm just picking Makote for a second. That's my main. So, but she's a Viera, so it's something different than Viera. Now, it saves your character config, saves gamepad and mouse mode settings. HUD layout, saves HUD layout and size settings. Your hotbars, saves hotbar or cross hotbar settings for all classes and jobs. Gear sets. It saves all your gear sets. So you come in, she's white mage right now. Maybe I decide I want to do Bard. So I flip over. I got it unlocked. Got a few levels on it. So I got my hotbar set up. Boom. If I've already played at Summit, make sure that those gear sets, they're in there. I'll show that off just a minute when I get in the game. It shows that, hey, they're saved. Let's go. You're all set. Come down. It saves your key bindings, which saves shortcut key settings. So if you want to go like Alt-G or something to have it do something, then it will save that. Your log filters saves chat log filter settings. Your little chat window, usually a lot of the streamers and everything will have it covered up, so only they can see it on their screen. You won't see it on the stream normally, because you'll have the chat from the stream going. But in game, they would have it hidden. So in case they see one of their friends and say, type real quick, hey, I'm streaming, I'll get with you in a minute. But it saves your chat log filter settings. What do you want going to different tabs? Do you have your general chat going in one tab? Your FC chat going in another? That way you know what's what. And all that. You got that set. And then individual macros. Saves individual character macros. Shared macros are saved by backing up client settings like we did a minute ago. Now others saves triple triad and Lord of the Minion settings. So if you got your triple triad decks going, you love playing that game, you are looking forward to that tournament coming up here in a day or two, fine. Got it backed up. If you get you a new computer, you got a hot new computer to sit there and play triple triad with and just destroy people. Same with Lord of the Minion. Those are little minion battles. You can also do little tests against the AI and try it that way. Social. Saves friend list group names and contact lists. You don't want to forget about your friends. Like, hey, come on, I'm ready to do Dawn Trail. Let's do MSQ. I want to see what happens. I want to run around with Viper. Or whatever. You know, I want to run around that new female rock car. Yeah, I'm planning on making one of those. Yes, absolutely. But you would come in here, and just like the other window, you would hit upload. It checks it, gathers everything it needs, and then you hit OK. OK. Character settings for Artemis Star Song on Coworld successfully uploaded to the server. But that's only Artemis. You would have to do it for each character if you want to back up each one. Again, you can do that once per day. You'll see it clear off. We will go in right fast. I don't know how long the queue is going to be. We're currently full. Players in queue 26. Okay, that's cool. You're going to see that right there quite often in this game right now. We have 30 million people playing worldwide. There's no telling when each one can come in. So there's enough people in right after that. It's got us a queue and it's 26 deep right now. Be glad it was not in Walker Launch. In Walker Launch was a mess. Yes. I saw queues 3, 4, 8,000 deep. And some people had it worse than that. I mean, they had to leave the computer on for like a whole day just to try to have a chance to log in. So, expect a few queues, especially the first day or two. But hopefully they won't be too bad with the stuff they've done. Now I'm in with Artemis right fast. Let's get in here. Let's go. We're going to go to System button. And we're going to go to User Macros. Now see, this is what I'm talking about. You have an individual tab. Now, of course, I don't actually have anything individual. I kind of like using the same macros on White Mage on everybody. I think they're kind of fun. But then you click over here for shared, and there's all your macros. That's what it backs up for the one, is the shared macros. That's the client settings. Now the character settings saves this tab if you have anything there. But since I share them, all those are backed up with a client. So, yeah. Now you got all your macros there. You go in. Now, your hotbars may or may not be set up. If they get rid of some stuff, like, I know Black Mage has done it, Bard has done it, several classes have done it. So, you'll have stuff down here in your hotbars that has a red slash through it. That means, hey, we got rid of that. We're setting you up with something else, or we're changing how something else works to include that in it. So, look at that. When you come in, double check. Some things can be off. Maybe it didn't download correctly or it didn't save correctly. You can always change it, fix it like you want to. Just take a minute, expect it when you log in the first time. So, come in, get yourself set up. You will be ready to rock and roll again. Now, the other thing we were going to go into, seeing it right now, your friend list and everything. It will show your friends, things like that. We'll save that for you. Let's go into the system config for a second. This is what all kinds of stuff it will save for you. Or most of it. Remember if you want full screen or not. Okay, fine. Remember if you had, let's jump down here, your frame rate, like it was talking about. You have none. You have 120 FPS, 60, 30. You also have the limit frame rate when inactive, and the limit FPS when away from keyboard. So if you end up going AFK, it's going to limit the FPS. That way it's not pulling too hard on your connection and eating up your memory a little bit. And the frame rate when the client is inactive. So if you lower down the client for a minute to go to the browser or look up something like, hey, where do I find this item? Or what am I doing wrong on this quest? If something's wrong here, what's going on? So you want to go to the browser and look at it. Maybe you don't have double monitors. That's going to limit your FPS while you're tabbed out. So, you're good to go. Now, make sure you do it before setting up your new computer. While you still have your old one hooked up. Get in and do that stuff if you haven't done it that day. Now, if you did it like 9 a.m. the day before, and it's now 2 o'clock in the afternoon the day after, that day, Monday you did it 9 a.m. Tuesday, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, fine, do it. You're good. Back it up. Then unplug your computer, put it to the side, add your new one in, come in, download the stuff, come in and play. You're good. I will highly recommend too, if you can, get an external SSD or an external HDD. I have one myself. I've been backing up stuff onto it, so that way I could just copy it off onto my new computer and not have to worry about it. I don't have to spend hours the first day I have my computer downloading everything I want. I don't just play FF. I play some other games as well. I don't want to have to worry about going and re-downloading everything on the new computer. So I've got it on an external hard drive. Good deal. Also, if you want, you can get a thumb drive, maybe copy off a few files onto it. That's a little USB thing, a little USB dongle looking thing that is basically a computer. You can save stuff to it and carry it with you. It would be a very good idea maybe to get your browser bookmarks or maybe your settings or something if you want to copy them off or something. Just in case, you can just copy them back over in case something happens. Now, there are at least 1 or 2 ways to get around using the same HUD or heads-up display on multiple characters. I will not mention that here because I'm not sure if the devs have said anything. I haven't heard anything about it, but I'm not sure if they would like that because I see that as you're copying a file from the game files, and I forget if you have to alter it any, like the name of it or something, before moving it over to another character to bring your settings over to another character. Like you saw, I had several characters right there. You can try to do that, but I'm a little scared too because I'm not sure if they would consider that, tinkering with the code, so to speak, because you are copying their work, the way their program does stuff to make a file to save stuff in, and copying it to another character and replacing the file that they already have in that character. That's kind of a gray area. I'm not sure how they feel about that. I haven't heard, so I am not doing that. I will say, if you feel brave, I guess, then you can find that and figure out how to do it. That too would probably need the thumb drive. That'd be something good for the thumb drive if you decide to do it. But I personally do not, so I cannot give you advice on that. But at this point, you should be all set to have your new computer and be done with it. Again, I will welcome you to the game. I am very much looking forward to Dawn Trail. This is SF Lady Wolf, and I will have her turn around here just to say hi. But we will have Artemis wave for us. Like hello and bye-bye. I am going to log out with her in just a minute, and I will thank you very much for watching this video. If it was helpful, maybe get you back into the game if you've been away a while not thinking about it, or you're just so happy to have that new computer that you're not thinking about it, so you won't have to plug up that old computer again just to do this, because you don't want to spend hours possibly setting up every character you make or every class on every character. So I wish you good luck and happy fun in Dawn Trail. So we will be seeing a different login screen. It will not be the moon and all anymore. We'll get whatever Dawn Trail shows us, which we have not actually seen yet. I'm waiting for the media tour to come up just to see if we get it. So let's party. Have a good one, and always walk in the light of the crystal.